A lot of, as running a business, and a lot of things are revolved around the data. Like, can you show how this converted and stuff like that? And the water gets really murky with social media because it's really hard. Something I explain to people is like, okay, it's a long road because they might have seen a TikTok, maybe they saw Instagram Reel, but maybe they saw me wearing a Sweet Baby Ray shirt at the gym, and they saw one of our trucks drive by.
Yep.
And when they finally decide they need catering, they go to Google and they search Sweet Baby Ray's catering, and then Google gets the credit on our little form that we have them fill them out. And it's such a hard road to see like what's actually converting. Is there any advice you give to your clients, or how do you guys really think about like what's converting on social and what isn't? What are some interesting perspectives on that point of view?
Yeah, I mean, last click attribution is is definitely flawed in my humble opinion.
Yeah.
As you said, it is most time it is multiple touch points that someone is going through, or they end up going down a kind of a final kind of decision basis. From a social perspective, I try to keep things really simple. It's like, how many people did you reach, and did they like it? So it's like reach and engagement, and you start being able to measure your content on a simple way like that, where you're basically kind of taking quantitative measures there, and then certainly being able to look at it from a qualitative standpoint of like, okay, I might have had a lot of engagement. Do people like it? Like, were they basically like, we love this, or were they like, this was the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life? Like,
yeah, you got so many views because they absolutely hated it.
Exactly. And you want to be able to make sure that you have a little bit of a layer of qualitative in there. So it's like, from an organic standpoint, being able to look at those like very simple measures. But then I think it is being able to like, once you have kind of your total machine going, it's like looking at your Google Analytics, looking at like, are you seeing more site traffic? Are you seeing more conversion? From a store perspective, are you seeing more foot traffic? And being able like, and you said it's not going to happen overnight, but you start being able to like just look at the total story. It's like, oh, well, you know what? The amount of impressions we're delivering over the course of the last 6 months has increased. And you know what? Our search traffic has also increased. Okay, like you start being able to say like that makes sense, and so I think it's definitely there's not, I don't ever think there's one silver bullet in marketing,
Right.
in terms of like do this and all of a sudden everything is going to be taken care of. But I think being an objective person in terms of marketing and looking at your data across your organic, your paid, your store data, and being able to see if we're doing, what are the changes or what are the things that we've done, and how's it impacted, our bottom line at the end of the day. But it's not like an overnight type thing where all of a sudden, oh, we did 5 TikToks and we saw more dollars. Like that's probably not going to happen.
Probably
like,
not.
I mean, like there are the rare instances of like the viral things that pop and everyone runs to a store, but like more times than not, it's not going to be the case.
The closest thing we've seen to that actually happened just over this past 4th of July, where we had posted on the 3rd of July a video that we've used before. It's done well for us before. It's an Alabama chicken where I show the whole recipe and use the Alabama sauce and the poultry rub seasoning.
Yep.
We posted that on the 3rd of July. That weekend, we got 30 orders directly from that post through our Spotify or Shopify account, and I mean that's like 10 times more than we usually get in like 3 days. So it was like really cool to see like we made a post, they went and converted, and that's like the best example. And we've been doing this for 3 years. But we really got focused with the Duce's Wild product specifically. We dialed in our website, we got a Shopify account. We can start tracking things better, and we're really being able to connect some of those dots like you were talking about. It's really cool. I mean, and you can get lost in the data, and right now we're still small. Like Duce's Wild is really small. It's a small part of our business and everything like that, but it's really cool to see how social can really impact that if you hit it right. It's like everything was right. It was like the 4th of July. People were just chilling on their phones. The video went viral. I think it got almost 3 million views, and then we were seeing the orders coming in. It was really cool.
But and the thing is too, it's like sometimes I also think about it. It's like someone might see something like that, like a piece of content that went viral, and they might still come to your store, may not order that. So, for instance, I think about it like there's a diner near where I live, and they're really famous for they do these extreme like ice cream sundae type things. Like
Okay, yep.
they kill it. They have one location. They kill
Super
it.
Instagrammable, like
Yeah, it's like
yeah.
because it's like one of those things where I'm like, I can't get that at home. Like Dairy Queen isn't making that. Like that's like
Yeah.
But I have a feeling though, it's like you go there, and like massively ridiculous. Like as a human being, it's a lot to probably eat. And I'm sure people go there and they're like, okay, I'm going to order some. I end up ordering something else, but they see other people ordering, or the case they may not like. It's oftentimes like the viral hit is what pull people in, but maybe they actually don't even order that. Like that's a bit of my hypothesis when I think about some of the restaurants, and what I think helps pull people in or create virality is around the thing that I can't get at home, or I think that I'm gonna want to get it's like, oh my gosh, I've never seen that barbecue done that way. I want to go check that out, and I think like that's the big thing when I think about like the food and restaurant space is like if you can be able to bring to life like cool things from the kitchen or the bar that are just like kind of almost play in the extreme place.
Right.
And it's kind of, it's like, you have restaurants that have like, some sort of extreme, all you can, if you can finish this in 1 hour type thing.
Yeah, right.
Like,
the eating challenges. Yeah.
Exactly. Like stuff like that. Like that's what people really love from a content perspective. And it ends up being like, that might pull someone in, but at the end of the day, they may actually not even buy it. They might buy something else. But it's like, if you can be able to find ways to just pull them in through the cool stuff that you guys are doing, whether it's like unique drops or other types of things that are like, I got to see that. I got to get off my butt in my house and go check that out.
That's interesting. For sure, we see like one of our most unique sauces is the Alabama sauce. Like everyone has a sweet tomato-based sauce. Everybody knows Sweet Baby Ray's and sauces like that. But our best-selling sauce is actually the Alabama because it's so different, and there's not a lot of people that sell it. But it's, to your point, is maybe it's like, that weirdness is getting them over to the site. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I really do think it's like, there's like that type of just I don't know, just something I can't get normally if I went to a normal barbecue place or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is too, it's like from a visual perspective, I remember when I saw that TikTok. Mm-hmm. You're all of a sudden pouring this white sauce, and I'm like, what in God's name is that? And like that's the whole thing, like that's the whole thing. I think like that's what just bringing to life that like something that's very different and like was unexpected, and I think that I'm sure has attributed to the success of that piece of content, because it does look when you're sitting there pouring that out and you're like, dude, only barbecue sauce I've ever seen is tomato based and it's red.
Yeah.